How's it, everybody? Welcome to Sappers Unscripted. Only the two of us, Mr. Burns and Casual Bias Rugby. We are here. Brevin has rugby commitments tonight, so he will not be joining us. And as you know, if somebody can't make it, the show must go on. Casual, how's it? How have you been?
Feeling good. I mean, a couple of unexpected names being named in the squad announcement, but overall, I'm happy. I see some good things coming. But overall, good. Of course, we miss Brevin, but he'll be back for when's it? Friday's episode.
Yeah,
so that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. But yeah, firstly, thank you to everybody for subscribing to our channel and the comments. We don't miss any comments ever. We love you guys. So keep them coming. As we talk about the squad announcement today, obviously when the squad was posted on our WhatsApp group, the level of joy from the three of us when we did not see Faf's name there. And then we found out later why Faf's not there. What do you think of the guys that made it and the guys that didn't?
Well, seeing that you brought up Faf, I mean, he's not the same Faf that we loved and adored in 2019, where we could all agree this guy is, if not the best scrum off in the world, one of the best. He was crazy in defense. He was quick at the ruck. He was great with his high ball, which was our tactic, obviously, in 2019. But as the years have gone on, up until this Irish tour, it's just got weaker and weaker and weaker. And I can't remember when I've seen Faf play a great game. I'm not saying he's not a great player, but it might just be form or whatever it is. But what I've seen, it doesn't warrant the position that he's playing in as the starting nine for the Springboks. So obviously I don't wish any injuries on them, but we've been saying it for the longest time since we've started this podcast that if you take everything combined, defense, the high ball, ruck, quickness at the ruck, Kobus Reinach is our best nine, and he needs to play. He needs to get that 9 jersey. He's the guy.
I agree.
And I think with Grant Williams coming through, the perfect example for him to follow is Kobus Reinach. They play a lot of the similar type of rugby. So I'm not happy that Faf is injured, but I'm happy to know that Kobus Reinach is getting that 9 jersey.
Yeah. Do you think that maybe this is Rassie's biggest flaw? Is that like the Welsh test, Faf was terrible. The first Irish test, Faf was terrible. And then obviously the third test, it was probably his worst game of his whole career. But surely when a person's in such decline, you don't start him against the number 2 side in the world. That's to beat South Africa on their home turf. So that for me, I get Rassie is a bit loyal to his players. And it shows because, I mean, we've got a similar side from 2019 all the way through to last weekend. So, it's a bit shocking for me that he did get selected, especially in the second test, and it showed why he shouldn't have been. But there are exciting players coming through. So let's steer away from Faf a little bit. Let the guy heal. Maybe he comes back stronger and better and the good old Faf that everybody loves and adores. Do you think Sasha starts a test match in Australia?
In Australia, no. Against Argentina, yes. But obviously, we're just focusing on Australia. No, because I'm thinking, who are we going to have on the bench, right? The Australia games, we know that is the ones that we can really slip up. I wouldn't say Argentina is an easy game to win, but we would be more scared of going up against Australia in Australia, where it's like get Andre Pollard to start and bring on Sasha from the bench. He is the utility player there. It would have been a different story if Damian Willemse was available. So, no, I don't see Sasha getting a start, but not against Australia. But would I like to see him get a start? Yes.
I would too, because I don't think Pollard deserves a start. He was just as poor in both tests against Ireland that Faf was.
Yeah. But the thing
He
is the
doesn't
kicking
deserve to
duties.
start.
Yeah,
I
but
get
who do
that.
you have on the
I
bench?
I get that, but then with Willie maybe still being concussed or whatever, put Sasha on fullback and let Marnie start and let Sasha kick for goal. Because Marnie was very good against. Okay, I get it was Portugal, but he was very good in attacking play.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm tired of like even myself has have said it like, okay, it's only Portugal. But Portugal were good. Like they
Yes.
weren't bad. Like in attack and stuff, they were up for this game. So I'm tired of saying, okay, well, it's just Portugal. We're just gonna say he was good against Portugal. Because Marnie, when he got the ball, he made that ball flow in the back line. I
Yes.
looked at that combination between Reinach and Lebok, how quickly that ball came out, right? And we got on the front foot. I don't
Mm.
think our backline was even set yet, and that ball already came out from Reinach to Mani. And
Yeah.
Mani found gaps. He just knew how to do it, whether it was running at the line, giving the ball outside wide to Lukanya Well, I was going to say Estrazen, but the guy absolutely just destroyed us in the first 2 minutes. And then, or a dink over the top from Mani. Like, he
Yeah.
was so good in attack. And I know people say his defense is maybe vulnerable. Give me 5 tens, right? That's defense is not vulnerable. Most tens defense is vulnerable, or they find themselves anyway in the backfield. Like
I
I don't know if
feel
you agree.
yeah, I feel Pollard's Marnie's defense is better than Pollard's.
His defense is really not that bad.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I often see Pollard slip too many easy tackles.
Yeah,
If like I'm actually concerned at 10 at the moment. If Sasha's there as a utility back to make a 6-2 split, then I'm concerned at who we're gonna have at 10 because coming up against the Australian side that's now on a high, new coach, fresh. It's actually their rugby's looking good. They are lacking in defense. I must say they needed proper
yeah.
defensive
That's their
structure.
vulnerability at the moment.
Yes, but their attacking is looking good. So
Yeah,
yeah, I'm quite nervous about that.
yeah. It is a tough thing to do because we know Villy has to start. Villy has to
Yeah,
start as soon as that concussion was done. We knew the next game Villy can start. He will start, right?
yeah,
So um, I don't know. Maybe this is a good 3 weeks for Andre to understand the system a bit more. He saw the pace that Kobus Reinach gets that ball at the
yeah,
breakdown, how quickly he needs to be ready. And I want to. We said we want Pollard to attack the gain line a bit, even if Pollard has to learn a bit from Marnie or whatever it takes, because I don't want to sit there and think, okay, well, our attacking running rugby is good with Marnie, but the kicks are an issue. Like we've backed Marnie and said he kicks great for the Stormers. He did not kick that great for the Stormers this year. Like his
yeah,
World Cup kicking form just went over to the Stormers, and he struggled extremely bad in
mm,
Bloom. Um,
yeah,
that's the thing. If we had another kicker, if Sasha was at 15, yeah, sure, go for what's it, Marnie to start. But the fact that Willie is gonna play, Marnie does not make the 23. I would love for him to do it in like if Marnie's our best 10 if he took away the kicking duties, just with
yeah.
the experience combined. But that's not the situation that we find ourselves in. So
Mm.
therefore, Marnie has to make way for Andre to start and Sasha coming from the bench.
Yeah, I agree. But if Colby's starting, then Marnie can start, and Colby can be the goal kicker.
Yeah, but Colby's kicking isn't great either.
Well, it's not bad. When he was at Toulouse, he was the kicker for half the season. He's got an 82% kicking percentage.
Yeah,
That's not bad.
yeah, no, it's great. 82% is great. But I'm
Exactly.
talking about what we've seen him kick for South Africa. It's not 82%.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not even
different.
close to 82%. I think it might be at 40% or some shit like that.
Yeah, different ball game. Yeah. Okay, but
Anyway, I need to ask you. I want to move it to the forwards, right? And I want to go to the man that you so love and adore. And fair enough, I love the guy as well, but you love and adore him even more. Ben Jason Dixon has made it. I'm calling him Peter Steph to tackle 2.0.
2.0.
They play exactly the same. I
Yeah,
love
like
it.
like we said in the last test, while we were chatting, while the game was happening against Portugal, he was my man of the match. I felt like he was everywhere. He scored a good try. His tackling was good. I did, however, the last 10 minutes, he looked a bit unfit to me. Like this oak is ready to go off the field. So I was quite a
But
bit
he
concerned.
always does, doesn't he? At the Stormers.
But, yeah. So maybe he needs to get 100% match fit because, yes, he's trying to imitate a pretty much a legend in the making in Peter Steph Toy. That engine just never stops, and some people just don't have that in them. But I'm very, very happy for Ben Jason Dixon. I think that, well, firstly, he's a great line-out option. He's a good carrier. He's a great defender. He's a bit quicker than most of the flanks that we have when he runs with the ball. So
he gives you the option to go into the lock position as well. So I would rather go with Ben Jason Dixon on the bench instead of Salman Murat, just because he gives you a bit more versatility.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's just my opinion on it.
I completely agree. I think that two things that happened for me. I thought that Mani Lebok is kicking himself out of the Springbok team, and I felt like Salman Murat is playing himself out of the Springbok team. Against Portugal, Salman Murat was terrible. I gave him like a 4. And at that one stage where people are dissing Mani Lebok for not going for goal when Salman Murat said go for goal, where I thought Mani saved Salman's ass there, because why are we going for goal against Portugal?
Exactly. I said it on the group. As soon as I saw that, I was like, are you kidding me?
Yes. And everyone's making videos about Mani Lebok being a coward or whatever. I think Mani Lebok saved Salman Murat's ass. Like, you're the captain, but you just made a shit call. We're kicking for touch because that's the right call.
And we scored from it as well.
Yes, exactly.
So, the thing is with Salman, I've said it a million times. I want the guy to be good. I want that like schoolboy aura that he had when he came onto the scene with the Stormers, where it was like, this guy is a world beater. He is world class. I kind of want that for him again, right? Yes. Especially with our locks being injured, with Franco Mostert being out, with John Klein still not back. I don't know where he is. He's MIA, right? But the thing is, like, Salman Murat, he did what I can see Frans Malherbe do, being the first receiver, popping it behind for Mani Lebok to receive. Other than that, his physicality was not at the races, and this was Portugal. Do you remember that one time I brought it up to Brevan in the previous episode? He got the ball with no defenders rushing up on him. He could steamroll down on them. He stopped and did side shuffles.
Yes.
I was like, I don't know what I'm watching.
It felt like I was watching Sevens.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I know it's just a little thing and he retained the ball and whatever, but that's just like, I'm like, where's your mentality where it's like you are this big, massive brute. You are supposed to be an enforcer like Eben Etzebeth. Run down on those guys. Like, seriously, have 3-4 people trying to take you down. Like, come on. I just want him to pick up his physicality. That's why we so harsh on him, because we want him to be good. We know he was so good, and I want him to get back to that. But anyway, we spoke about your man of the match, Ben Jason Dixon. I said my man of the match, Johan Grobler. He was sensational against Portugal. Now, I don't think he plays. He doesn't play a second against the Wallabies, but just the fact that he's there and he's officially the third choice hooker after Marks and Bongana. Hey?
Why do you think he doesn't play?
Bongi's leadership group, Marks is the best hooker in the world.
Marks is playing the second test against Australia, not the first. Grobler is on the bench for the first test.
How do you know that?
Because Rassi said it in a press conference. He said Marks should be ready by the second test.
Oh. I like it. I didn't even know.
Grobler is on the bench for that first test.
Okay. Brilliant. He was everywhere. He was absolutely everywhere. And that's like, I could see what Brevan was raving about all season long with this guy. Like, we've always spoke about Akker van der Merwe. Johan Grobler just kind of came under the radar, and he was sensational. Sensational. He gave me a bit of Skull Brits vibes. I don't know about you, but
Yes.
and that's your
So
man.
if he was, if Grobler played longer than 59 minutes, then I would have agreed with you that he could be potentially the man of the match, because he was. I mean, just before he got subbed, he stole a ball with three guys in the ruck over him, and he stole the ball. That's insane. But
Yeah.
but don't get me wrong, a guy like Fenter that came on for him just carried on that role. Like, he was just as good.
Yeah.
Obviously, didn't get enough game time and he didn't jackal as many balls, but I'm very happy with our hooker depth in this country.
Yeah, because obviously we have those three, and then in the squad, if need be, they might just throw Marco van Staren to say if he needs to just secure a game or whatever. It won't come down to that, but that's like if there's an injury crisis. That's why Andre Guventry isn't there. You don't want to waste another spot on someone that can just play hooker. Anyway, there's two more boys that I really want to talk about, right? And the first one, Ulrich Lowe. We saw the difference he made when he came onto the field. And it kind of, okay, I said two more players, but the one is Ulrich Lowe and Evan Roos. And we might stick with this one just for a little while because we saw the impact that Ulrich Lowe made. And before the game, we said, okay, well, it's only Portugal. But now Evan really struggled in the exact same position against Portugal. He didn't do himself any favors. And both of us are massive Evan Roos fans. Like, that is the guy that we want to see in the number 8 jersey. Do we see Ulrich Lowe starting in that number 8 jersey? And
I
Kwagga
think
moving back to the bench?
Yes, I 100% do think so. I thought that. So it actually irritated me in the game. Everything about that Portuguese game irritated me. But when I saw Ulrich Lowe play that well, I was even more irritated because I was like, Evan, you had one job. And now this guy is showing you up. He's playing so well, breaking the gain line every single time. But I do, however, think that this is going to bring back a better and stronger Evan Roos, because think about at the Stormers when Hachiva Diamani was performing like a beast and Evan Roos was now the second string 8th man. All of a sudden, when he took his jersey back, he was what made him a Springbok in the first place. So I'm happy in our 8th man depth in this country.
The only thing I just hope it doesn't knock Evan Roos's confidence too much. Like, I understand what you mean in terms of competition, and he's hungry for it. But I don't want him to think like, okay, he's got a second opportunity and he blew it again. Because he only got the opportunity against Portugal. And yes, he didn't take it. But it's like he's put in all those hard yards of the URC season, by far the best number 8, and then he doesn't really get his opportunity. I don't want that to kind of demoralize him. Because he does warrant a spot in that 8 jersey. And to be back, that's the thing, like, Evan Roos has never been backed for games after each other. He got backed for the Wales game, played a great game against Wales, in my opinion. Then missed the 2 Irish games, which we both felt he should have started, and then plays a random game against Portugal. There's no consistency or trust, really, in Evan. And that's an issue, in my opinion. Because if you look at the way that England have done it with Sam Underhill, do you remember how good he was in 2019? Completely dropped off afterwards. I think Eddie Jones lost faith in him. And then Borthwick brought him back in. The first 2 games, he wasn't firing. You were like, why did they put him back in? Look how good Sam Underhill is now again, now that there's been faith restored in him. And he's just being let out there to go and play because he's that good. I want the same for Evan Roos. I don't want to see us going, okay, Kwagga, you've always been on the bench, now you should start. Kwagga knows his role from the bench. He's our bench player. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think, I agree. I completely agree with you. I felt that Kwagga, in this, specifically the second test, when we went unchanged, I had so many doubts. I promise you, I was not confident about this game at all because of how everyone's just, we know we're going to be in the team. We're so chilled. Nothing's going to stop us. Rassie has complete faith in us. And a bit of different energy in that team would have made a massive difference, whether it was Ulrich Low or Evan Ruas at 8 in that Irish test with Quagga coming off the bench, I think it would have made a massive difference. And Evan Ruas, especially against Ireland, would have been bloody good because it wasn't a loose game at any point, which Ulrich thrives under. He likes the looseness, the frantic stuff happening. So, yeah, I feel for Evan Ruas.
Yeah, if we had to take it back to the Irish game, it's like they rotated their team, and you got hungry boys coming out there. While we stayed the same, and it was kind of nonchalant in terms of, okay, we know we're going to start. Where maybe because we knew they had a lot of changes to be made, we could have also made a lot of changes. And it's not second choice guys. You get a hungry Evan Roos there. You get, okay, well, Ulrich Low wasn't there, but you get what I mean, right? Just get slight changes, maybe even on the bench. Just switch up a couple of people, right? Just to throw Ireland off and get those guys that are really hungry and fighting for position, give them the start, even if you just switch the front rows. So yeah, that's still a tough pill to swallow. Let's not go back to visiting Ireland once again. Anyway, the final guy, big talking point. No Ruan Venter, who in my opinion had a brilliant game against Portugal when he came on, like really did damage. But we've gone with a guy that wasn't in the squad against Wales, wasn't in the squad or but on standby against Ireland. Just shoe on him. There you go. Ruan Norkia. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. Scintillating player. Probably deserves being called up with the way that he played in the URC. How do you feel if you are Ruan Venter right now?
Yo, I'd be extremely, extremely disappointed. But then again, grateful for the opportunity that I did get. And I know Rassie is very transparent with people. So they would have known before that team was announced, like days before, they would have known what the setup is going to be like. So they're probably more understanding. But a guy like Ruan Norkia, for me, I'm glad Breven's not here because he's probably not going to agree. I don't think he deserves it at all. And I also think that he's going as a touring player. He's going for a free holiday to Australia because he's not going to play.
Yeah, he's just a backup player in terms of the locks. Because I think they might rather go with Ben Jason Dixon as a lock before they go with Ruan Norkia. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they did something like that.
The physicality aspect. So I think the locks are going to be obviously Eben and Argia, and then Salman Murat is going to be on the bench, and then what you said, Ben Jason Dixon as the flank lock reserve.
Yeah. Well, that's if they don't go Marco van Staden, because they won't have all three of them.
I also
where's Quagga then?
I don't know. Maybe they go for 5-3 split.
Anyway, let's just quickly do we want to run through the backs? We kind of already went through the backs. No real other surprises. Kind of we expected everyone else to be there. Morne van den Berg, well done to him. Deserved it. He had a great game when he came on. But that's kind of most likely also because Faf isn't there. If Faf was there, we wouldn't see Morne van den Berg. Anyway, I just quickly want to... Sorry?
I think Morne van den Berg is also just a touring sub.
Yeah, a couple of them. Jan-Hendrik Wessels as well. Like, just there's a couple of those guys. But anyway, let's look at some of the exclusions. We already spoke about Evan Roos. Now, I love Trevor Nyakane, and I think he's a good scrummager, but I'm glad that we've kind of said, okay, Trevor, you've had your time now. Right? Because it's time for our youngsters to come through. Because that's something we spoke about in previous podcasts. Was like, there's not enough young guys in our team anymore. It's like spot the under 30. And Trevor, obviously on the older side, I think he's like, what, 33, 34?
36, pal. 36.
36. Anyway.
He was 35 at the World Cup.
Yeah, exactly. So
36.
Now you've got Thomas du Toit there. You've got Jan-Hendrik Wessels. You've got Gerard Steenekamp and Oxenche. Just the younger guys that can still give you a future, right? Because now we need to start building future as well. But get the guys that are on form. So I love the fact that they're getting the chance above Trevor Nyakane, even though I think his dance moves are pretty cool. But we're not selecting on dance moves. Are you surprised not to see Pepsi Buthelezi?
No, this is what I said before the Portugal game. I said these guys are one-off players. They're probably not going to play again, and he's unfortunately one of them. Maybe next year or the year after that, but the Oaks still got a long career, so he must just wait fast.
He will have a proper career for the Springboks. Unfortunately, he's going against stacked competition. Yeah. And he didn't necessarily stand out against Portugal, but he deserved his spot to at least play a game with the season that he had with the Sharks. He was also like one of the standout players alongside Fassi. Andre Venter, we already said why he isn't there. Ruan Venter, we covered. Injuries kind of stay the same, except for Faf de Klerk joins them, whether you're happy or not. We actually thought we might see Kanan Moody back. Obviously, he's not back yet. Do you think you're thinking? Will he get a game in this rugby championship?
I definitely do. Apparently his rehab is going very well, and he's going to come back stronger and faster, allegedly. So we could see.
He'll probably play against Argentina as well.
Yeah, he should. He should. I am, however, surprised that Fassi is on tour.
I'm not surprised at all, because if you look at it, he covers the full. He covers the fullback position. There's no other fullback cover.
Sasha Funberg and Gomazula.
He's actually there to be fly-off, and he's the utility back.
Yes, but Fassi, after the Portugal tour, if you're going to drop Ivan Ruiz for not performing, you drop Fassi for not performing. He was dog shit. Their first 2 tries was his fault.
Yeah, he could have done a bit better with that. With the one where they just normally beat him, where it looked like he slipped or something. Should have done a bit better there. Anyway, are we expecting to see Steven Kitsoff?
Yeah. So apparently that injury list there, so the John Kleins, the Kana Moody's, Kitsoff, Kitsoff, and I think Faf, they're all going to be, when the Boks come back to South Africa, they'll be joining the squad.
John Klein as well.
Well, I saw on John Klein's social media that he's chilling ultra lekker with I think it's his wife on the beach, and things are looking fine.
I forgot John Klein existed. That's how long he's been out. But anyway, we'll wrap it up. As always, people, thank you very much for watching, liking, subscribing. We appreciate each and every one of you guys. We'll be back on Friday with something a bit more fun, seeing that there's no rugby. Thank you.
And let us know what you guys think of the team. Like, what changes would you make?
Exactly. Thank you.
Goodbye.